So in the last video that I recorded, I show you guys how to access the terminal scrollback using this plugin, kitty-scrollback.nvim. It's a wonderful solution, but it involves some extra steps that you actually don't need. And I found a simpler solution without a plugin. So I'm just going to show you how to do it without a plugin in this video. The other method, this plugin is still valid. If you want to use it, it's fine. Go right ahead. But I think I'm going to stick without the plugin. This is just simpler for me. Okay, so if you don't understand what the scroll back is, let's take a look at that first. I'm inside Neovim right now, but I'm gonna switch to another kitty session. Okay, I am not inside Neovim here. I'm just in my terminal. The colors are the same, so maybe that's what's a little bit confusing. But this is just my terminal, and I just run commands here, okay? Let's say, for example, that I SSH into a storage device, this storage device, okay? And let's say that I run an ls command here, right? Just to see what we have in this server. A lot of the times when you're SSH'd into a server or just in your regular terminal, you need to copy some stuff from the scroll back from the terminal. So that's what we used the plugin in the previous video. Okay. So to access the scroll back, I type the letter M in my case. I'm gonna show you. You don't need to do that. That's just the way that I do it. But when you look at my kitty configuration file, you're going to understand how to set it up. So I'm just going to type the letter M here, and I'm going to access the scroll back. Notice that I can see the history of my commands. And what if I want to copy something to my clipboard from my terminal history? Okay. Let's say that, for example, I wanted to copy this entire line, or not that line. But let's say that I want to copy where it says resolution. I have my Neovim config running here. I'm just going to bring up flash.nvim. I'm going to type resolution or just res. I can jump to that line right now. Just going to type the letter F. And I'm going to select from here to the end. What if I want to copy this to my clipboard and use it somewhere else? When I type the letter Y to copy, it's going to quit. Going to copy and quit. Notice what I have in my clipboard before this. That is not there, okay? So I'm gonna type the letter Y. Notice that it quits out of the scroll back, and let's look at my clipboard. It's right there, okay? A lot of the times as well, I need to copy the last command, this section here, because I am, writing my documentation or something, and I need to have that last command only. I have another key map for that. So if I type, in this case, this key, enter SD, notice that it flashed in the background and it copied the whole thing. I didn't do it, just press the key map and it did it automatically for me. Okay, so if I bring up here, this, you're gonna notice that is in my clipboard history. Okay, I'm going to exit out of this server. I just cleared the last command because it showed my freaking email. Let me change to a different directory here, and I'm just going to list all of the files that I have here. And let me access the scroll back again. Just gonna type M, and let's say that I need to copy something out of here. I can just scroll like in a regular Neovim buffer. Okay, let's say that I want to copy these 3 lines. Just gonna type Y, copies, and quit. And those are in my clipboard. So I can paste them in another application or in another Neovim instance, whatever you want to paste them. Okay, go back here. This previous video, the difference is that with the kitty-scrollback.nvim plugin, you get colors when you access the scrollback. With this new solution, you don't get colors. Do you need them? Personally, I don't. I don't care about the colors. What I care about is that my key maps are available and that I can navigate the scrollback the same way that I do it on a regular Neovim buffer. But the colors, not too much. There are solutions for that though. I'm gonna show them to you in a little while and some other options. Okay, so this is still a valid option. I already showed you guys what the scroll back is. Just gonna mark this. There is a lot of people that is confused as well in the comments or in the Reddit post that I created in Neovim, in the Neovim subreddits, um, saying that this is done with tmux. Yes, this is done with tmux. I used to do it in tmux in the past, but I'm migrating away from tmux, and I needed to find a way to do it in Kitty. Kitty does not have a built-in scroll back. We're gonna discuss that in a little while. But yeah, tmux users do this with tmux copy mode. It is way more limited because you only get a few key maps. You cannot use your entire Neovim config there with plugins and all that stuff. Okay, so yes, tmux usually the way that is done. Why am I migrating away from tmux? I had an interview with Kovid. Where is that interview? I think it's gonna show here. This one, okay? And he talked about tmux in one of the clips. You can see that clip there. So go and check the interview out. He explains that he has nothing against tmux. I think he does. But I don't know, it just opened my eyes basically. The way that I use tmux in the past is just locally, just to navigate between sessions. Notice that I'm in my dot files here. I'm in my daily note here. If I need to jump to my dot files, it's another tmux or another kitty session in this case. You can see the name of the session here. If I need to go to my blog post, another session. Notice that it opens Neovim, and let's say that I need to go here to this article. I'm in the blog post session right now. Jump to my dot files, jump to my home session, jump to my daily notes. That's what I use tmux for. I don't use tmux in remote servers. I don't need to reattach. No, I don't need to do that. If I ever need to do that, I use tmux, of course, because I don't know if Kitty has an option or not. I haven't figured that out. But for something local, like sessions, it's not needed. I'm just using Kitty. Yes, I know. If I switch to another terminal like Western or Ghosty, I will have to learn all the key bindings for that terminal, set it up and all that. It's fine. I still have tmux. I have my entire configuration just in case I need to go back. Okay, so I posted this in the Neovim subreddit. Okay, and Justin, which is a core maintainer of Neovim. If you don't know who Justin is, just you don't know. But he mentioned here an option, scroll back pager. They notice that he brings up Neovim, and there's just some options that are passed here. Remapping this one, call nvim open term. I'm not sure what this does, and I have not seen this in action. But I guess this is going to give you colors in your scroll back. I'm not entirely sure about that because it doesn't work with Neovim 0.11. This only works for Neovim 0.12. So if there's someone that does this, let me know in the comments if you can see colors with this method shown here. I guess this is what does the trick. I'm not entirely sure. Okay. But yep, I tried it, didn't work. So then he confirmed that it was for Neovim 12, as you can see here. Okay. And let me show you how I do it. Okay. Because when he posted this message, precisely at that same time, I was trying to figure out a way if there's a simpler way to do this without a plugin and, a lot of extra stuff. And there is. Okay. So if I jump here to my daily notes, just gonna mark this as done. Gonna leave a link to the Reddit post in the video description in case you wanna go and check it out. Okay, so let me jump to my dot files and let me jump to my Kitty configuration file. I was looking at the default options that come with Kitty, the default configuration options. I have them stored here in my file. And I think I was looking for scroll back, okay? Not this, scroll back indicator, this scroll back pager, okay? So notice what it says there. Program with which to view scroll back in a new window. The scrollback buffer is passed as standard input to this program. Okay. Notice that in this example, Kovid uses less, but that doesn't mean that you have to use less. You can use any other program as is specified there. And I thought there must be a way to pass this to Neovim then, or to Vim, and there is. So this is what got me thinking, and this is why I came up with the different solution. Notice this key map here to show the scroll back. This is what I'm doing actually. Just a key map, right? Launch, scroll back, and pass other parameters. Okay. Here it's calling less, as you can see here at the very end of this. So if we go to my configuration, it's the exact same thing. I'm doing what is specified in the documentation in a different way. Launching the scroll back, and the type I set it to overlay, and I'm executing this command, right? I pass my Neovim configuration, the Neovim app name variable, so that I use my own custom config. I pass this other variable, simpler scrollback, because that's what I use to disable some stuff in my config. Like I don't need the snacks dashboard plugin. I don't need to auto update plugins when I run this. I don't need to have Lua line. I don't need to have line numbers, a lot of different stuff. So I use this variable to disable that in my config. Okay, here I call Neovim. This goes to the bottom of the scroll back. And notice that I have this key map here, okay? I'm remapping Q to quit when I'm in this mode. There's two ways of remapping this Q to quit. I'm gonna show you right now. But let me just grab this variable, just gonna copy it, and just gonna search in my dot files so you can see where I disabled some stuff. Notice that this plugin, Stay Centered, I disabled it for scroll back because I don't need it. And you can see how I did it there. My kitty configuration, that's where we're at the moment. In the init.lua file, this is where I declare the variable that I export, that I pass. Okay, so this is where I declare it in Neovim, and then I use it in other sections to disable plugins, right? Snacks, notice that I'm disabling the snacks dashboard or this scroll back config. In the options.lua file, I disable WinBar. Notice that I have a condition there. I disable WinBar. I disable line numbers, line column, the status bar at the bottom, some other stuff that is in the options.lua file. I also disable here. Let's see, what is this for? I think this is for auto updates. Hold on. Where is it? Yep, here. Hold on. Auto updates at startup. Yep, that's what this does. Notice that if it's that scrollback variable, I do not auto update plugins because I don't need to. It's just going to slow it down. Okay. My keymaps.lua file. Okay. So I have a few keymaps here. I'm going to show them to you right now. But first, let's look at Lua line. Notice that Lua line is disabled as well. Okay. What about the keymaps.lua file? Let me open it so it's easier for you to see. Okay. So if it's that simpler scroll back, I declare this key map. With Y, I can copy to the system clipboard and quit because that's what I want to do. Just want to copy and quit. I don't want to copy and then manually quit. No, I wanted to do it automatically for me. Okay. And what else? Simpler scroll back. Let's see. Oh yeah, this is where I can show you. Notice that this one is commented. Okay, you can configure it here or outside. This is Q. Okay, so when you type Q and you're in the simpler scroll back mode, you quit without saving. Okay, so you can do it here or you can do it in the kitty configuration file. the way that I did it here, you can pass this as a parameter, okay? Just testing, just gonna leave it like this, but nothing, um, there's nothing wrong in doing it here as well. If you want to control it with this variable, okay? And let's jump back to my daily notes. What else? My solution. Okay. So there is this discussion. Let me jump back to the Neovim subreddit. Saturn Studio was kind enough to share this. I'm going to leave the link in the video description. And there's a lot of suggestions there. This is old and it's still pretty active. If we go to the very bottom of this, you're going to notice that 3 weeks ago, this person commented something else, left some recommendations. They're doing something similar to what I did. So you can see the different options that they pass, okay? So they're using the default Neovim config. They don't use their own config. Is this Vim or Neovim? Let's see. Vim. Oh no, Neovim. Okay, so they just pass a lot of stuff. They explain why they do it here. I don't like this approach because I want to use my own config with my plugins with flash.nvim and all of the different key maps that I have in my config when I access the scrollback. This is faster. This is way more minimal. So if you want to try something minimal, try this. If you want to try your own config, you can try, the variable that I passed. Just experiment and see what works for you. But I'm going to leave this in the description. Should Kitty have a built-in scrollback? That's a question. Because Kovid does not include one. And there's a lot of complaints about that. I thought about it and I think it shouldn't. Why? Because if it includes one, people is going to start requesting, okay, so now I want to have the emotions in the scrollback. Okay. Now I want to have this plugin in the scrollback. And it's just, no. It's complicated because if one is included, it's going to request, or people is just going to request a lot of stuff. I don't want to access normal mode with escape in the scrollback. I want to do it with KJ, or I want to do it with J. It's just going to be a nightmare. I wouldn't include it if I would maintain Kitty, but this option that exposes or that allows you to use any other application, I think is wonderful. So, I don't know, tough choice. I wouldn't include it, but I understand why people that don't use Vim may want to have something simple. Could be, but I don't know. I don't know what to say there. How do I disable some stuff? I already explained this with the variable. I already explained this as well. Oh, I have an interview with Tony coming soon. Gonna show you the 1-minute teaser so you can watch it. Hold on. Where is it? Oh, but before we do that, I just want to thank the CEOs, Web23, web23.com. Really appreciate the support, man. I also want to thank the executive producers. I have 2 at the moment, and all of the different YouTube members. The money that I make from YouTube is just basically nothing. So memberships is what actually keeps the channel going. So if you want to support me, you can become a member. I have different levels. You can go and check them out. The link is going to be in the video description. Okay, so now let's watch the teaser for the interview that is coming with Tony. When is this interview coming? This coming Friday. I don't know. Today is the 25th of September. Today is what, Tuesday? Yeah, Tuesday. So 3 days from now. Members can watch it already. I'm going to upload it today, I think. But yep. Let's go and play it.
Just to prove to you that I don't have Hugo on the system, I'll just type Hugo serve right now. And you see the command not found, right?
Okay.
But if I run this flake, I'll do nix develop dot. And then it's going to just put me into a shell with whatever was parameterized in that flake. And now, as you see, as this Hugo is ready.
Man, the furries are going to come after me because I'm dissing on Nix and I'm dissing on Gensu.
If you know me in real life, like I'm just going to tell you, just try Linux. It's going to be annoying. You know what I mean? Like if somebody says, hey, my computer, this, that, and that, I'm like, oh, hey, have you tried Linux? They stop inviting me to hang out because that's all I talk about.
all of my friends, they're my age and they play games. I don't know, they're my age, but mentally, they're not my age.
Yeah.
What's Red Hat? Yep.
So it's just proprietary garbage. I have to use Discord sometimes because it's proprietary garbage and then push a big update. So since it's proprietary garbage, I can't build it from source, right? So like, what do I have to do? It doesn't matter if Discord breaks. It's not going to ruin your workflow, right? Like that's just some proprietary garbage.
Mac OS, what are your thoughts there?
I mean, it's proprietary garbage. I have a lot of respect for that. Even though it's proprietary garbage, and when somebody says, hey, like, but this proprietary garbage that's not on Linux, compile something from source, unless it's proprietary garbage. But then for DaVinci, I'm pretty sure that's proprietary garbage, right? Movies and stuff as proprietary garbage. Like, it's just...
I wanted a black one. Hold on. No, that's not what I meant.